So I wonder what would life be like if we lived on Mars? Well, the first part of this question is I thought to myself, you have to get to Mars. So what would that be like? So what I did is I found my first source, which is called Living on Mars, How to Survive the Red Planet in Popular Mechanics, a very reliable, nationally known magazine that has been around for decades and decades. This article was written by Carl Zimmer, and in it I found some interesting things. First, he talked about what it would be like to get to Mars, and apparently it would take at least 5 minutes under the best case scenario. Then you'd have to worry about things like cosmic radiation, cabin fever, and potential bone loss. And then you'd have to land safely in this environment that, despite robotic rovers, we still don't fully understand. And so basically, what he was saying is that there are a lot of unknowns, even with our current scientific expertise and our robots that we have sent to explore Mars. There is still a ton we don't know. So we're just kind of guessing if we were to actually go there. That led to my next question. If we were able to get to Mars, what would we find once we arrived? Well, apparently there are tons of health hazards. The dust there is more dangerous than found on the moon. Scientists suspect that it contains arsenic, hexavalent chromium, that could burn the skin and the eyes, that your radiation exposure would be greater, much greater, than also found on Earth or even on the moon. So there would have to be protections against those things, and that would be very difficult. And then I asked myself the question, what are the basic needs that we would have to have if we were going to actually settle there? Well, those are pretty basic. Basically, we need food, water, and energy. And we have to understand that these things cannot be produced on the planet, at least right now. So they would all have to be brought with on any kind of a space trip to Mars and would have to be constantly resupplied until technology, I know we probably have all seen the movie Mars, but until technology advanced enough where we could actually make food and water and energy on the planet. And we do not have that kind of expertise yet. So from that point on, I was like, it doesn't look like it's really possible for us to live on Mars. So I went ahead and I found a second source. And this one had to do with the ethics of living on Mars, meaning not just can we do it, but should we do it? And what I found, this is not exactly a simple answer, because we don't have a right to own the universe. And sure, we consider ourselves sentient beings, and we consider ourselves to be, honestly, more important than other forms of life. Even on our own planet, we consider ourselves more important than other animals and insects, and even like microbes. So when we get to Mars, what would we be doing to that planet? And just like when early European explorers came to North America, they brought with them all kinds of diseases and bacteria. Well, we would be doing the same thing to Mars. So how would we impact Mars in its current state? And if there is any kind of life on Mars, even at the microbial state, would we destroy that or injure that kind of life? And I found this from a scholarly article in the Google Scholar written by Reedy Reiner and Jennifer A. Claudius in Anthropology and Education Quarterly. So what they came up with is, yes, we would definitely impact life on Mars, but should we do it? And their answer was yes, because establishing settlements on other planets would lead to a betterment of life for us humans, definitely. We also know that our solar system is middle-aged and our planet is being exhausted. So we may actually need to settle other planets in order to survive as a species. So that being said, even though we would have an impact on the life on other planets, these authors concluded that we should actually go ahead and do that. Now, there is that counter argument. of do we have the right to impact other life on other planets? And that is a valid argument, and many people might disagree with that. And so